and it's so bad. Third world problems.
Oh man, I love it. Well,
Yeah.
that's good. It's interesting. It's good for getting it finished before Christmas. So that's the
Yeah,
main thing, isn't
well,
it?
it's so funny, we weren't, like, planning on doing any of this before
Yeah,
Christmas. We were like, "Let's just paint at Christmas,
yeah,
and we'll worry about every."
yeah.
We're in there, we're living in it now. It's
That's awesome.
yeah, it's nice though.
Yeah,
It's
beautiful.
kind of nice when you work so hard towards something and, like, you see it kind of unfold
Yeah,
and you sit back and you go, "God, this is so cool." Like, me and Drew have sat there and said to each other, like, "It's so cool we built this, like,
yeah, it's awesome.
we did this together." And I'm so glad that the painting's done.
That's good. I hate painting. Painting's the worst job in the world. Good morning, everybody. How are we? What's going on? Hope you're well. Can you give us a big wave if you're joining me live? If you got any live questions, please drop them down in the chat box. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Sean. Looking lovely to see you guys pop up today. Good morning, everybody else. How are we? What's going on? We have got some pretty good questions this morning that I want to rip into quite quickly. But anybody that hasn't hit the button above our heads that says chat.restream.io/Facebook, please hit it. There's a couple of Facebook users there that are popping up. If you could, it's just above my head, a little blue line. You only have to do it once and then it shows your name so we know who's asking the questions live. So if you do have any questions, please send them through. Karina, hey, I changed my life the last 12 months. I started eating healthy and cut out sugar, gluten, and dairy. Well done, Karina. That's fucking awesome, mate. I'm very proud of you. That's it's really good. Cut out sugar, gluten, and dairy if you're intolerant. That's awesome. And dairy is a pain in the ass when it comes to weight loss, right? People don't realize the old glass of milk is a fucking massive amount of calories. So well done to you, Karina. That's awesome. You should celebrate that. Total 64 kilos in 12 months. Well done.
Wow.
That's bloody insane.
That's great results, actually.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. Well done. Well done, Karina. Morning, everybody else. Another Facebook user, Cara. Good morning. Lovely to see your beautiful face. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was her progress pics that we put up the other day.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck.
Incredible. There's
Yeah,
some really good transformations in the academy.
definitely.
Like in the I'm not sure what the men's looks like, but the ladies, wow,
Yeah.
there's some like ladies on fire. And it's really nice to see, like, heading into that Christmas period too, like, such momentum.
Yeah.
Christmas is so hard to navigate, and I think it's just really important that you have that really good momentum.
Yep.
Oh, you've got me?
Yeah. No, sorry. It was like, I had two of you then.
Oh, nobody wants that.
No, that's weird. That's weird. That's absolutely
Yeah,
weird.
see the momentum in the group at the moment is just like
Yeah, it's bloody
amazing.
fire. It's fire. It's good when people have hey Dennis, it's you that's not registered at the top. It's good when people have that momentum. I think why the academy's firing is because obviously we're coming up to Chrissy as well, and everyone wants to get that into shape for summer, which is really cool, and everyone's pushing really hard. But there's a lot of people that are popping up that probably weren't as noticed as much before. And now that we're promoting them a bit, like they actually got the courage to show their photos, it's really good and it's inspiring everybody else. So the Karas and the Kaylas and stuff like that that are finally getting out there. Like you're inspiring other people, guys. Like keep doing it, and that's the main thing. Is you're not just doing it for yourself; it's to inspire the next generation or to inspire the person next door to you. And that's the most important part, really. Absolutely. Anyway, let's get onto it straight away, guys. Again, if you've got anything you want to ask me or Esme live, please do, because Esme is on fire. She's ready to go today. She's got a brand new bedroom. She's been lying in the aircon, naked on the bed, enjoying it. She's never had aircon in a bedroom before, so she's full starkers.
Oh dear. No. Like the curtains aren't like super fixed at the moment. Our neighbours can see right into our bedroom.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Drew said to me the other day, he's like, so who's going to be the first one that walks in there completely naked and forgets that the blinds are open?
100%. It would definitely be me. I would be doing that. for certain.
Oh dear.
Karina's just said she's got a passion now to help others also achieve their weight loss goals. So I'm going to study and become a nutritionist. That's awesome. I, I mean, you and I did the same thing when we lost a ton of weight. We got into helping other people, and it's super important. It's not just inspiring people, but if you can lift somebody up to be a better version of themselves, nutrition is a great place to start, Karina. So well done for you. All right, question number 1. I've noticed my left side is either bigger or longer than my right. Is there any way to fix that or even it out? Are we talking? No. Boobs and testicles, standard is that one is always longer than the other.
That's normal. Deal with it. Move on.
Okay, I think we're talking either muscles or biceps or something. So your body's not in proportion, I'm guessing, is what you're saying. So yeah, there's a lot of people have symmetry issues because we're dominant on one side. I'm right-handed. My right arm is stronger than my left. Although now I've noticed my left bicep is bigger than my right because I'm actually working more harder on my left, and so I've got to correct that imbalance. So, there is a simple way of fixing that out, and that's unilateral exercises. That means instead of doing double-armed curls, do single-arm curls with the same weight, and you'll notice that if you've got one arm weaker, you might have to drop the weight down until you can get the same amount of reps.
Yeah, I had to do that. In the beginning, I had to do that. I had to drop weights down on my left side because my right, obviously, I'm dominant on my right. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's just building that muscle the same way you would normally, just building it slowly up your weights.
You can go to a physio. You can go to a chiropractor. I had an issue where my right leg was longer than my left because I had my hip out. So I had my hip popped back in and my ribs were out. So I had my ribs popped back in, and that corrected my imbalance on that type of thing. If you do notice, a cool little tip for you guys out, you probably don't even think of that. If you look at the bottom of your shoes and you see one of your shoes is wearing out quicker than the other on the side, it generally means that you might have a hip imbalance. So it'd be good to go and see a chiropractor or someone else to fix that for yourself. It's not a bad thing. It could only be a couple of centimeters, but it's enough. I
think for ladies, it's really common too, because obviously when we have our kids, they're old enough,
gets destroyed.
Hold them on one. We hold them mainly on one side.
Yeah.
So you kind of put your body out. And I know for me, my hips were so out of whack. Like probably after Harbs, I'd say probably when she was about 2, and both of my kids were big, chunky kids, so they were quite heavy.
It's common, eh?
Yeah, and same thing, just went to the chiropractor. They did a couple of things, couple of appointments, and back into shape. So
excellent. Yeah, so if you notice the imbalance, so the right way to do it is to use unilateral exercises, which means single arm or single part of the body rather than doubles. Just fully engage the muscle and check out your weight and balance. If you notice, like I said, your left hand is weaker than your right, then make sure you're doing the same weights on the same arms, and then gradually you'll increase over time and you'll get to a point where it's in proportion. Not many people do pick it. It's only when you're like flex in the mirror or you're looking at yourself and you might see your chest muscles a bit bigger on the left and the right. It just means you're going to have to do single arm stuff to correct the imbalance. So yeah, it's not like it's a really bad thing unless you got one super massive right arm and one really tiny left. Maybe you should stop jerking the gherkin with your right hand. Swap arms occasionally, feels like a new person.
It's all about balance, okay?
No, I'm not going to go any further.
Right there.
Yeah. So, wow. All right, people. I'm glad to see you aren't racist anymore. You've changed a lot since high school. Okay, I don't know who the hell that is. This live is glitching a lot. I'm really sorry that it's glitching. That's cool. All right, question 2 is, what macros should I focus on the most when it comes to food tracking? Focus on the most. Well, let's just talk about macros for a second. They are important. All macros are important. But if we're talking purely weight loss or muscle building strength, protein is the most important. Even distribution of carbs and fats is good, 30-30 and 40 on protein, your percentage, but you got to prioritize protein. It's the main support for your growth of your muscles and repair of your muscle fibers when you damage them lifting weight. So what macro should I focus on? You should focus on them all, but for weight loss we primarily focus on targeting protein intake, doubling it as much as we can, so we are fuller for longer. We've got proper muscle building capabilities with having excess amount of protein in our body.
Yeah, I was going to say it just depends on obviously what the goals are. If it's just the average person that wants to lose some weight, build a bit of muscle, protein. But if you're going down, like you've gone down that, I've lost weight, I want to build quite a significant amount of muscle, maybe you want to go into like bodybuilding or anything like that, that's where it obviously becomes a bit more in detail of what you're having when you're having it and how much. But I think for the average person, like you said, it's just protein.
Yep. So healthy fats are great for you. Monitor your carbohydrate intake if you're looking for weight loss. Like just keep it on the lower side, but make sure you're hydrated. Make sure you're hydrated, especially because we need that to help with digestion as well as anything else. So, what macro should you focus on? All of them, but primarily, let's focus on protein intake and making sure we hit that target all the time. If you're carbs and fats 35 and 25 or vice versa, it doesn't matter. It goes back to calories in versus calorie out for pure
and don't completely avoid carbs and fats. Like they're not bad.
No, you cannot avoid carbs and fats.
They're energy.
And if anyone's telling you any different, you can tell them to piss off and send them my way, and I will tell you the absolute truth that carbs and fats are really good for you, and we need them to survive.
That's why I call it a balanced diet, because it's balanced with everything. It's not just primarily one thing. And if you balance it all out with all of the macros.
Yep. Perfect. All right. When does speed work on resistance training become important? As most PTs tell us to do the exercises slow to feel it. Interesting question, because we were talking about this, or Jace was talking about this yesterday, talking about slowing down the movement versus half reps and things like that. Speed really comes into play when we need explosive power for whether it's powerlifting or running or cycling or something else. That's when speed work is more important in my eyes. It's for dynamic strength, agility, and things like that when we come to doing cardio exercise type activity. So speed work is more important for that. Me personally, I like to focus on slow and muscle mind connection. Like I absolutely love it. I feel the muscle working better. Like I know speed work has its place in certain sports and certain aspects of training, but for me, I don't really need too much explosive power now that I'm lifting weights. I'm doing it for aesthetics and strength and longevity. So I'm focusing on mind muscle connection. I'm focusing on not necessarily like going super slow. There's some reps that I will do that, but it's just engaging the muscle and holding it for that 2 seconds and then letting it go back up. So not doing these.
That's smarter, not harder.
Those people on the pull down machine, they're just throwing their body around and they're not feeling. It's not working. It probably works a little bit, but
those are the ego lifts, though, aren't they? Like, someone's got a bit of an ego because they're like throwing heavy weight around. But if you were to say to them, "Okay, now slow it down and hold it," they'd be like, "Oh, I can't do that." So there's no shame in dropping the weights down and slowing it down, because you're actually probably getting more out of it. Well, not probably, you are getting more out of it than what you are just throwing weights around.
Definitely. So if you're into agility or power or something to do with explosive power, speed work is definitely paramount for you. We've got to remember though, speed work can create injury because we are doing it super fast, and we've got to make sure that the weights aren't too heavy. But yeah, if you need to do speed work in the gym, it's purely because you're training for cycling, running, swimming, something with explosive power. For us mums and dads and guys and girls that are just losing weight and want to build a better frame, focus on mind muscle connection. Focus on nice and controlled reps, getting them out, and your rate of perceived effort. Like if we're supposed to do a 9 out of 10, making sure that we don't hit that last rep too easy. We got to increase the weights. Like monitoring our time at the gym, they're more important than speed work. So yeah, good question, because it's not something that a lot of people think about or do ask, especially in the academy.
It comes back to like your individual goals again as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. For me,
when you start and you if you're quite overweight, doing exercises like that with that instant power
Yeah.
it's probably going to be quite difficult. And like you said, it's going to create some issues. So starting out slow and steady is always going to be the best.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So if you're looking for explosive power for running and cycling, speed work is really good. If you're looking for weight loss and just building that better frame, slow and controlled, do your reps right, and it will be all good from there. I think we always get a booty question every time we do a Q&A, right?
Yeah.
Will my booty grow a significant amount if I start training it 3 to 4 times a week? What exercises are the best for optimal growth in that area? Yes, your booty will grow if you're training it 3 to 4 times a week. 100% it will. Making sure that prioritizing nutrition, number one. You can't grow muscles without enough protein, which takes us back a couple of questions. Protein intake. So it's super important that we're eating enough, and carbs, because you're working bigger muscle groups, so you're going to be burning a lot more fuel. So making sure we're having a carb intake. The smartest thing would be eating something high carb, high sugar before you actually do your lifts, because so you've got a bit of extra energy in there. But 3 to 4 times a week is a little excessive when it comes to on a booty grow your ass. You're going to get a really sore posterior chain, I'll tell you that for sure. But prioritize squats, deadlifts, lunges to really target the glutes, because that's what we're talking about, a peach bum. Everyone wants a peach bum for some reason.
Exercises are really good too. So single leg lunges.
Yep. Isolations. Yep.
Yeah. Which is really good, because you're obviously isolating the muscle and working it harder. But I think if you're training 3 to 4 times a week in the gym, my personal opinion would be don't just focus on your glutes every single session.
Yeah. It's okay to want to grow them, but you don't want to be that person. It's just ass.
Yeah.
No upper body.
Yeah, 100%. If that's the goal and that's what you want, go for it. But I think, again, we go back to individual goals, work out what your goal is. Do you want to just feel really good?
Yeah.
Or do you want a giant dump truck?
Exactly.
You know, and I think there's like a big thing around growing the booty at the moment. It's like the thing, and there's so many different things that you see. You get on online, and you see all these reels and videos about like, do these exercises, and people just overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
And make it so confusing.
Yeah, definitely.
You really don't. It doesn't need to be difficult. It doesn't need to be confusing. Add it into your program.
Yeah, we're all getting influenced by somebody out there that's growing a dump truck, and obviously scrunch bum pants are got to get sold somehow, and the only way to sell them is
most people that show photos or videos online that have like a really good looking bum. Yeah, they got a good looking bum, but it is actually also about the angles and how high up their scrunch bums are up their bums.
I've got to admit, I'm actually growing a bit of a dump truck myself, and I'm pretty proud of it. I'm actually pretty proud of it.
What's your secret?
Secret? Genetics, I think. No, it's just going back to lifting heavier weights. It's the only way you can do it. Progressive overload is the only way to build muscle. Hot tip for you guys and girls out there: if you do want to work your ass really well, you need someone to spot you so you can start doing progressive overload. Like if we get to a point where you're doing 15 to 20 reps on a weight, you are going to stabilize your muscle growth, and it's going to stay at a nice proportion. But if you want to grow it, you've got to increase the weights, and that means proper form. So it'd be good to have a spotter or somebody there to help you out to make sure that you're lifting correctly, especially on the squat. Doing the proper technique is going to grow those muscles properly. Also, don't forget your isolation exercises for your hips and your groin and your adductors and things like that do help form that peach bum. It's not just about glutes. We don't want just a pointy ass out the back. We want a nice.
And if you're not working all those,
is that right? The arse cheek bite. We want a nice,
yeah. And if you're not working those other areas too, you can find that you may actually cause injury as well, because you're growing the muscle in one area, so then the other areas are quite weak and they're overcompensating. And this happened to me. I started to have a lot of hip issues because I was working a lot of just my glutes, and I wasn't focusing on like my hip flexors or anything like that. And the minute I'd go to run or I'd walk too far, my hips would just clap out. And now that I've started to focus on, like you said, that whole area, I don't have those issues anymore. But it also comes back to your nutrition too. You
big time.
have a shitty diet.
Yeah.
And you are in the gym 3 to 4 times a week working your booty, it ain't going to grow.
No, 100%. 100%. It's not going to grow at all. Nutrition is key for anything. We've got to make sure that we are on top of our game when it comes to maximizing our growth potential. And that's comes down to having a proper diet, nutrition plan, having the proper workout plan to go with that nutrition plan. Like, it's not just simply going in there and doing squats all day. It's actually, there's a process to it. So make sure that following through with nutrition and training, even steps like to keep your weight loss off and go from there. That's your best point to call. So next question, what target should my heart rate be when working out? Not dying. Not dying is my answer to that one. Look, unless you're an athlete that needs to focus on heart rate to build endurance, then it's important. But for mums and dads who are just wanting to lose weight, and I'm talking to you guys because most of the people that are watching are mums and dads that just want to lose weight, it's not that important to have a target heart rate at the gym. Okay. I don't really want you monitoring or thinking that if I don't have a high heart rate, my workout is shit. Like, let's not monitor our heart rate. Our target heart rate shouldn't really phase us too much. If you do see a spike and you feel like your heart's going a bit too hard, okay, like slow the fuck down.
Slow down, and if it goes to the doctor.
Correct, monitor it and make sure that it's not something severe. But we don't need to focus on our heart rate at the gym. We need to focus on our mind-muscle connection. We need to focus on our time at the gym effectively. We need to focus on the fact that we're there, we're working hard on ourselves in our mental game. They're more important than heart rates. So heart rates are not super important for mums and dads that are just in the gym training just to lose weight and maintain their body. It's not important unless you're someone like me or Nick or any of those other guys. Hey, Steph, thank you. Like any of these other guys that are training for endurance, heart rate's super important. Low heart rate training is super important to maximize.
They will have like a coaching program based around what their goals are, and they know what to look for and what to monitor. But like you said, the average person doesn't need to worry about it. And obviously you are going to notice a bit of a spike when you are working out because you are doing more. I find that when I do like leg day, my heart rate goes up more than what it would if I was doing upper body. And that's quite normal as well. Like, that's not something to go, oh, well, there must be like an issue here. That's quite normal because
you're working bigger muscle groups. Your heart rate is going to get higher because you're exerting a bigger muscle group. So it's going to take a lot more blood to get to that area, and your heart's got to work overtime to pump the blood to those muscles because they're bigger muscles. Yeah, for sure. But don't focus on the heart rate. Focus on your time there, your commitment, your program, your mental health game, making sure that you're enjoying yourself at the gym. Don't look at your sweat. If you're not sweating, that doesn't mean you're not working hard enough. It just means it's not hot enough or your body doesn't need to regulate itself as much. But just don't worry about the heart rate. Focus on you. How come my scales tell me I'm heavier, but I look leaner or smaller? Esmeralda?
I think that is like the best place to be. If you are sitting there going, why are my scales saying I'm heavier, but I'm looking good, I'm feeling good, you are doing the right thing, the absolute right thing. That's body recomposition, isn't it? There are times where I've seen the scales go up and I'm like, uh-oh, what's happening? What am I doing? But my progress photos, you can see that the waist starts to come in, like the hips start to round out. You start to notice definition. You growing muscle, and it's not necessarily getting bulky, but lean muscle. And I think that happens after a period of weight loss. You get to a point where your body starts to do that recomposition into, okay, now I'm going to change into looking leaner and fitter and toned. I think that's like the best place you can be.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Away from the scales. If you feel really good and you're looking in the mirror, your clothes are fitting better, and you feel like I'm getting leaner, more toned, step away from the scales.
Yeah.
If nutrition's on point, your training's on point, step away from them. You don't need to worry about the scales.
Yep.
Because it can be a bit of a mind fuck there, can't it? Because you feel good, but then the minute you step on the scales, you're like, oh, but that's not right. Like, I must be doing something wrong here. And then you have that battle inside your head. And your first reaction is going to be to go towards a negative rather than a positive.
Definitely. Well, it's in increasing weight, and it's not what we're aiming for, right? The increase in weight scares us because we think, oh, fuck, I'm doing something wrong. But think about it, guys. Like,
increased weight is fat. That's what a lot of people think.
Yeah. That's right. They do think that. But the other thing is, like, yes, your scales are telling me you're heavier, but you look leaner or smaller. Okay, let's go back to the start. We ask you to get in a calorie deficit, to do your steps so you got some cardio and you're burning off a little bit of extra fat. Third thing is, we're asking you to lift weights. Why do we want you to lift weights? So you can have a frame underneath you when you lose all that fat, and it's not just going to be excess skin, and then all of a sudden you get to a maintenance level, but you've started building muscle in the meantime, and you haven't seen that muscle because chances are you're chubby and you're overweight and you can't see the definition yet. Well, you get to the point where it happens, and then all of a sudden you're still lifting while you're losing, and then once you're at that level of maintenance and you start lifting more, you're actually going to increase weight because you're building muscle. That's the scary part. Having the mindset to get over that bit and really look. But when you see the definition, that's when you really start like getting excited because you actually see the little lumps popping and appearing. So
you get that like satisfaction after you work out. In the beginning, when you first start, it's really hard to keep that motivation, and you don't get that, I guess, that gratification after a period of time. You don't see a great deal of change, and then all of a sudden you start to see, oh, that's starting to pop out. That's I'm starting, and that's like that gratification that you get. You can see the changes, you can see the hard work you're putting in is working. But you got to stick to it.
And let's go back and talk about a couple of little things that can happen overnight. You've had a high salty meal the night before, and your body's kept a shitload of water in there because salt attracts water. Number one. You got your period, ladies. Sucks, but it happens, right? You put on weight. You keep excess energy in your body because it needs it. Okay, men, same thing. It's generally more to do with water. Like, it's always water. So when you wake up in the morning, you might not have done a shit before you weighed yourself, and there could be half a kilo of poo in your body, right? Like, or a wee. Think about it. There's a chance it happens. So there's a lot of things that play with your head when if you're purely on focusing on the scales, not like, focus on your hips, like how your pants feeling, how you're looking in the mirror. They're more important things. But yeah, overall health is more a combination of how you look, how you feel. Yes, the metrics are there for the weight increase and weight loss. It's the only thing we can measure, but more importantly, it's how you look and how you feel is the governing factor. That happened to Steph this morning. There you go. She jumped on the scales and put on a couple hundred kilos, or a couple hundred grams. Sorry.
I was like, wow.
So, Steph, those Puerto Ricans eat some decent meals over there, I'll tell you that.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, so there's so many different things that can happen overnight that can increase your weight. So like, just seriously focus on how you look and how you feel, and you'll actually enjoy the process a lot more. I literally can't get 6 to 8 hours sleep every night. How can I fix that or fix my sleeping problems? Literally can't. Okay, so are you a shifty? Have you got kids? I get it, right? I get it. I get it. It's hard to get 6 to 8 hours sleep if you do have kids. I know, I've been there. There's no excuse for me. It's I work too late, or I'm vegging out too much, or I need a bit of downtime. But there's routine is good. Routine can help regulate. A consistent sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up at the same time regulates your body. Your circadian rhythm comes into play. Like, that's that's probably one of the best ways. What's your environment like at home where you sleep? Is it dark enough? Is it cool enough? Like,
but what are you doing before bed? Are you drinking a couple of cups
yeah,
of coffee before bed, or
yeah,
does that stimulate you? Like for
yep.
me, I can drink coffee before bed and it doesn't do anything. I can still
I know, me too.
sleep. But for some people, they're like, oh God, no, I couldn't even have a coffee at 3 o'clock in the afternoon because I'd be up all night. So, if you're struggling to get to sleep,
Yeah,
which is usually the problem for people, like if you just can't get 6 to 8 hours, usually it is you can't get to sleep and then you have a broken sleep and
yep,
then you're up early. But work out what you're doing beforehand, like coffee. It could also be like, how long are you taking to wind down? Are you
yep,
having a really, really big meal and then going to sleep straight away? Because
yeah.
I can't do that.
No, it can affect a lot of things.
I feel really yuck and I sit there for ages trying to like let everything
Yeah,
digest.
yeah,
Because laying down as well, it just doesn't, you feel uncomfortable, so if you find that you're eating a big meal, you're going to lay down straight away and you're struggling to go to sleep, maybe try and eat a bit earlier in the night as well.
yep. That's a valuable point. Can you practice calming techniques or breath work or meditation or like there are times where if I'm finding it hard to fall asleep, I listen to affirmation podcasts or something like that that just dumbs me down, but I can get some sort of relaxation involved. Is there too much stress in your day that's causing you not to sleep? Is it constant stress? Is there something you can do about that stress to mediate it so it's not there all the time? I know it sounds like we're throwing all these things at you, but I
This
can't tell you what
practice.
suits you. Yeah, you've got to work it out for yourself, but you've got to try things, right? You can't just sit there and say, "Hey,
I just
I
can't
just,
get
yeah,
that.
I literally can't get." Well, okay, if there are factors like kids and that break your sleep up, yeah, I understand. But if there isn't, it's going to back down to routine and how active you are, or before you go to bed, or your screen
Even if
time
you
can
do
affect
have
people.
kids, the best advice that I was always given, and
Finnegan.
the opposite effect on my kids.
No, for you, I mean, knock yourself out.
um, sleep when they sleep. So even if your kids are a bit older, like my kids are shocking.
Yeah,
Day naps if you have to.
yeah, day naps are good.
If you can't do a day nap, do an afternoon nap. Or, afternoon naps for me are like super dangerous. I was just saying this before, like if I lay down, I'm done.
Yeah,
But also then I stay up super late at night. So is that something that's happening? Are you sitting down most of the day and then you have a bit of an afternoon nap or something and then you're awake really late at night? But there's also medical issues and things like that. If you've got things like sleep apnea and things that are actually medical issues, go and see your doctor. There's so many different things out there to help.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah, 100%. How do I get rid of cellulite?
I love this one.
Go to one of those laser places that guarantee you to get rid of it in 10 times. No, that's it.
Use Mike for the discount.
Yeah. Yeah. Hashtag Mike23 for 10% off. Um, yeah. Look, guys and girls, I've got cellulite on my quads. It's just natural. It's something you cannot really get rid of unless you grow the skin, which is increasing the muscle mass around that area. Steph, I can take that off now. Sorry.
Still there.
Yeah, like it's
There is a super important part to this though, and it was something that I did a little bit of research on. I didn't go too deep, but I found it really quite interesting. So again, talking about protein. Protein is super, super important because collagen, this great thing that everyone's trying to find, these collagen tablets and collagen skincare. Collagen is protein. If you have a high protein diet, your body is going to produce more collagen. Your skin repairs itself a lot quicker when
there
you
you
have
go.
protein in your diet.
Excellent.
So that goes for cellulite, loose skin, like dark circles on your face and things like that. Like protein isn't just about weight loss and keeping you fuller for longer. There are so many other benefits.
Excellent.
Mm.
Yeah, for me, it's only been like knowing it naturally without. Yeah, Steph, you can knowing it naturally without any cosmetic stuff. It's increasing muscle mass and making that area get larger so that the cellulite does, form part of your skin. But that comes down to having a balanced diet, nutrients.
That doesn't mean as well, like with the protein, it doesn't mean like if you go and eat a heap of protein,
Yeah, correct. No,
completely get rid of cellulite or whatever it is. But
it's definitely not what you said at all. At all. Even water, right? Hydrating your skin helps, and it's not if it's going to be reduce it. Like it's human. It's natural. It's part of your body. Like embrace it. Absolutely embrace it. Cellulite is a normal thing. Like I think we should be not self-conscious of it, even though it can be looking ugly, and like it's natural. Like embrace it. But if you really want to work around it, muscle tone, reducing a bit of weight, increasing your muscle mass can help. Yep, protein definitely helps. If it's severe, like dermatologists, I know they can give you some treatments for it. But yeah, for me, I'd rather be natural. That's my personal opinion. I don't mind it. A woman with a bit of cellulite, I think it looks good.
Exactly. It's natural. It's the same as stretch marks. But I kind of get it for women that may start out quite large and lose quite a lot of weight. You come into that area of like there's a lot more extra cellulite because the skin's so used to being stretched out, and then it's deflated as such. Like the skin's a lot looser, you start to notice more cellulite, and that again, that creates a bit of that negative mindset around how you look. So also practicing a bit of self-love as well. What
embrace the cellulite.
What have you been through?
Yeah.
Is it kids that created the cellulite? Is it, you've lost 60 kilos?
Yep. Exactly.
You've got to appreciate where you are from where you were as well. And it's hard. That takes practice. It's not like, you go to bed and you go, oh, I love my cellulite and I love my body. And you wake up and it takes time. It takes practice, but a bit of self-love, bit of compassion towards yourself, and give yourself a pat on the back.
Yep, exactly right. Dennis put up a question before. Is weight training wasted if running straight after? Great question, Dennis. And there's no sort of right or wrong answer here. I like running after weight training because I like to test myself fatigued. But if you want to build muscle, you've got to give it time to rest. I'm a firm believer if I weight train, I've got to wait at least half a day before I go for a run. If I'm looking at building muscle, but for me, if it's endurance or I'm training for something where I need to run fatigued, I like to run after weight training because it gives my body like a bit of something to challenge a bit. It's not really wasted, but you're not getting bang for buck for recovery, Dennis, for when what you really need to do with muscles is build them. So it's not really wasted. It can be, but a lot of people incorporate it, like CrossFit, for example. They do, running as part of the actual workout of the day. So, it is good and it is bad. But if you're training for something specific, it can be wasted. So I'd wait 4 or 5 hours first and let your muscles recover a bit. But it's not really wasted, dude. Depending if you only lifted light weights, well, it's not going to affect it too much. But if you had a big, heavy leg sesh, it probably would be wasted. For sure. Steph, I'll get to your question in a sec. I want to jump on to the last one because it's not something that I am very skilled in talking about because I'm a male and I do not know about the menstrual cycle as much as a woman does. That's the God honest truth. So, the question is it dangerous or okay to work out heavy / intensely during menstruation?
Definitely not dangerous at all. I think you really need to listen to your body. If, you feel a lot weaker, if you feel quite fatigued, okay, if you go into the gym and you feel like that and you are lifting really, really heavy weights, that can be a bit dangerous. Drop the weights down a bit. I think during that phase, it's a good idea to treat it as a bit of like a deload week, I guess. Drop the weights down a little bit. Listen to your body. It's not dangerous. It's actually really beneficial because it alleviates a lot of those symptoms that come with menstruation. If you have quite a heavy flow, working out and moving your body actually really helps that. It helps with the PMS. It helps with the mood swings and the down, like the down feelings. You feel really shit. You feel lazy. You feel like you just want to eat. Getting into the gym can boost that energy, boost the mood, make you feel really good.
Excellent.
You've really got to listen to your body. Like, you are someone that feels super fatigued, scale it back a bit. If you are someone that just physically can't get into the gym during that period, don't go. Keep walking, move your body. Just don't go to the gym.
It would be a comfort thing too, right? I know a lot of women feel icky when they have their period, and the last place they want to be is at the gym for fear of something going wrong or having a heavy day or something like that. So yeah, that can be detrimental to your mental health as well, like stopping you from doing something that you enjoy. But is it dangerous? We can't say specific to anybody's individual.
No, I guess it does depend on,
in a broad sense, but your experience is, it's not dangerous. It's
unless, like I said, you're going in there super fatigued and you're just making really silly judgment calls. Then that would be dangerous. But
I think the thing would be if you're not sure, is to test yourself with sort of a moderate workout first and see how you feel, or a light workout first and see how you feel, and then maybe work on it from there. And if you do get comfortable and you think, I don't want to miss my training session just because I feel like shit and this is happening, well, cool, maybe try it and see how it goes. But adequately hydrated, adequately nourished from foods and protein and carbs as well, because obviously losing blood, you need to recalibrate and get all that back in. I think it's individual persons, but listening to your body is the most important thing. Like with anything, like training with injury or training with fatigue, it's like you've got to know your limits.
But also don't use it as an excuse.
Yeah, that's why I said.
And I know that sounds really harsh, but I guess there can come a point where you just throw your hands in the air, and I've done it myself, where you just feel like rubbish for that week. You feel like rubbish, so you throw your hands in the air and go, oh, this week's just a write-off. When you look back, you probably could have gone to the gym at least maybe once or twice and just done, a light workout. Like you said, just scale it back a bit.
Yeah.
For me, the first 2 days of my period, there is no way you will catch me in the gym. There is no chance. Me previously, it would be that full week.
Yeah.
But now I know, okay, I was using that as a little bit of an excuse.
Yeah, definitely.
First 2 days, no way. After that, I'll go back in and I will drop my weights down, to be safe and to know where I'm at. Some months I feel a lot more fatigued than others.
Yeah.
Hormones change during these times as well. There's so many different factors, but I definitely don't think it's dangerous. I think there is a lot of benefits. And if you are someone that feels comfortable going to the gym, get in there, lift weights, keep moving forward.
Yeah, and if you're at the gym and you're feeling like you only can get half a workout done and you are feeling like shit, then stop, and go home. You've done half a workout, better than doing nothing at all, and you tried and you pushed yourself. So that's amazing. Every time we have a call, you girls always get complimented about glowing. No, what happened? What's with me? I'm like, am I just fucking animation in the background?
I'll give you my skincare.
As you were glowing, like, look at my skin. It's fucking. I'm like flushed.
Youthful. Actually, no, it's all a lie. It's the
Backs off the Christmas lift now, I'm telling you. All right, Steph, we'll get to your question, and I really appreciate it. I was for guys you don't know, Steph's a good friend of mine. She and I did a coaching course together a few years ago. She's a coach herself, and she's a fucking awesome human being. She's had a rough life and changed her life around, and I really absolutely love and appreciate this woman so much. We did a podcast last week together on her profile, and it was awesome, just talking about our story. And I just wanted to acknowledge her because she's just a great human being. I wish she could be coaching with us, but she has a great business of her own over there in the US. So yeah, I just want to pay homage to a fellow homie.
That's beautiful, Mike.
Represent. Yeah, she's a great person. All right, I was curious about using creatine as a supplement. Should I incorporate it in my routine, or is it not necessary? Steph, why are you not doing it is why I'm asking. I'm telling you this. It's one of the most researched and safe supplements out there that does help and benefit you significantly in the gym. Okay, it is purely there to hydrate your cells and like fill your muscles up and give you a couple extra reps during your session so you can, work yourself really hard. It's not a pre-workout. It's not going to give you a buzz. You won't even know it's there. So yeah, it's safe. It's researched really well. It's very few side effects unless you have an excess amount, which most people don't do. For girls, 5 grams is probably enough just with the body weight type situation. And guys, there's studies at the moment showing that we can actually go up to two scoops, which is about 10 grams, which I've started about 6 to 7 months ago, I think. So yeah, if your fitness goals are involving strength and power and hypertrophy and all that stuff, creatine can be hugely beneficial for you to grow muscles quicker. If you feel like it's hindering and it's changing the way your body feels, then I would seek a doctor or maybe get a blood test done. And
but if you miss a day or a week of taking it, it's not the biggest issue.
No.
Either. It's not something that like you have to take every day to get that benefit. It's good if you do take it every day, but it's not like if you miss a day or a week that it's going to be super, super detrimental. It's like the effect of it isn't like enough for you to notice that you're having it. So then not having it, you're going to get benefit out of taking it, but it's not like if I don't take it, then I'm going to lose all my progress.
And I know, Steph, you're a veggie as well, Steph, from memory, I'm pretty sure. And that will actually help you a lot more because creatine's found in a lot of animal products. And if you are a vegetarian or a vegan and you're reducing or not having your meat consumption and you need the creatine, it'll actually help you on that benefit because you're missing out on it with, being on plant-based diets. So yeah, definitely, Steph, like, it's super cheap. Like it costs $20 for a massive 1 kilo bag, or over here, and probably $10 where you are. It will last you a very long time, but yeah, it won't be detrimental to anything, but it will help increase muscle mass when you're at the gym lifting. So great question, Steph. And I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Unlike Beck, at least somebody gave me a little bit of respect. Well, it's all right, Beck. I'm only taking the piss, mate. I've never been told I've been glowing ever. So if I did, I'm probably on fire. So, okay, sorry. She's a meat girl all the way. Okay, cool. I'm working on body because, yeah, definitely. Sorry, I don't know why I thought you were a veggie. Maybe like you did some vegetarian meals on your profile and I just assumed it. But anyway, yeah, but it will help you anyway, Steph. So 5 grams, I reckon it would be your best bet, especially when you're lifting heavy. Caveat to that is it does attract water to your cells, so you might have a little bit of an increase in weight 1 day, 2 days a week, like if you're weighing yourself. But overall, it's just going to benefit you so much. You better work on it back next time. I'm going to change my lighting. Hang on, maybe that's the lighting. Hang on, let's see if I can glow. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Oh.
I think that's the trick.
Am I glowing now?
Yeah, it's the lighting.
Are you not entertained? Oh, that's too bright. I look at fucking sunburnt. Anyway.
It's so
all
good.
Right. No worries. Thanks, guys and girls. I appreciate you guys so much for jumping on board, and those live questions are really cool. I hope you got some value out of it. Next week's Q&A, please, if you have any questions between now and then, send them through to me. Send me a DM. More than happy to do a reel on it for you. I answer them personally. I don't mind. I love this stuff, and it helps me out so much more. So, yeah, do it. I thank you for joining me today, Esmeralda. It's always a pleasure having you on board, even though you glow better than me. But I'll work on that next week. Maybe it's
Beauty and the Beast.
Maybe it's the oh shit.
Come on, I never ever have a good call.
Wow.
Okay it.
Wow. Okay. I'm in control and I'm leaving that there before I'm very lucky that we're only on cyberspace.
So good.
Probably. See you guys. Thank you very much. I'll catch you next week.